Beneath the soil of ancient France lie secrets waiting to be uncovered, stories of lost cities, mysterious graves, and forgotten civilizations. Join us as we journey through time, unveiling the darkest and most fascinating archaeological mysteries that have reshaped history and challenged what we thought we knew about Europe's past. Oldest Muslim graves in France, a hidden chapter unearthed. Imagine uncovering a secret burial ground that rewrites the history of an entire region. In 2016, archaeologists digging through Roman ruins in Nimes stumbled upon around 20 graves, but what they found inside was far from ordinary. Among the disorderly burials, 3 stood out. Their bodies were carefully positioned facing Mecca, and their tombs matched the unique shape found in Muslim cemeteries. Could these be the oldest Muslim graves in France? This discovery challenged previous beliefs. While Muslim graves had been found before in Marseille and Montpellier, those dated only to the 12th and 13th centuries. The Nimes graves, however, were dated between the 7th and 9th centuries, centuries earlier than anyone expected. DNA testing revealed the 3 men were Berbers, a North African group who had adopted Islam during the early Middle Ages. But how did they end up buried in Roman ruins deep inside France? Historical records confirm that Muslim forces had reached parts of southern France during the Arab-Islamic conquests, but physical evidence had been scarce until now. These graves opened a window into a forgotten chapter of medieval Europe, hinting at cultural exchanges and conflicts that shaped the continent's history. Yet, many questions remain. Who exactly were these men? What were their lives like in a land far from their origins? And why were they buried in such an unusual location? This discovery is not just about bones in the ground. It's about uncovering the complex tapestry of early medieval France, where cultures collided and histories intertwined in surprising ways. The Kindergarten Bones, a playground of ancient secrets. In 2006, something chilling interrupted the innocent playtime of toddlers in a small French town. At a kindergarten in Saint-Laurent-Médoc, children began pulling human bones from the ground. Alarmed adults called the police, and what followed was a startling archaeological revelation. Beneath the playground lay an ancient burial mound, Le Tumulus de Sables, used for thousands of years, from roughly 3600 BC to 1250 BC. Archaeologists uncovered 30 skeletons, but the mystery deepened. Why had this shallow, unadorned mound remained a burial site for over 2 millennia? The remains belonged mostly to the Bell Beaker culture, a Bronze Age group known for their distinctive pottery and widespread migrations across Europe. Yet, chemical analysis of their teeth revealed something unexpected. These individuals were locals, not migrants, and their diet contained no fish or seafood, despite living near rivers and the Atlantic coast. Why would a community repeatedly return to the same modest burial site for generations? What cultural or spiritual significance did this mound hold that outlasted shifting populations and lifestyles? And why did these Bell Beaker people avoid seafood in a region rich with aquatic resources? This eerie playground turned ancient graveyard challenges our understanding of prehistoric life in France. It raises haunting questions about rituals, identity, and survival in a world long vanished. What secrets did those bones whisper to the children who unknowingly uncovered them? And what stories remain buried beneath our feet, waiting to be told? Shackled skeletons, the dark secrets of a Roman necropolis. The past doesn't just haunt us. It sometimes lies chained beneath our feet. In the shadow of the ancient amphitheater in Saintes, southwest France, archaeologists unearthed a chilling tableau in 2014. Hundreds of Roman-era graves, some containing skeletons bound in iron shackles. The discovery, just 250 meters from where gladiators and wild beasts once clashed, revealed a forgotten world of suffering and survival. As the excavation progressed, the team uncovered 5 shackled skeletons, 4 adults and 1 child. 3 adults had iron chains fused around their ankles, another wore a crude shackle around the neck, and the child had a restraint on the wrist. These were not temporary bonds. The iron had been hot riveted, designed never to be removed in life. The rest of the graves were arranged in trench-like pits, with bodies lying head to toe, sometimes in mass burials. Who were these people? The evidence points to the lowest rungs of Roman society, likely slaves, prisoners, or victims of the arena. Roman law and custom dictated that slaves could be buried with restraints as a final mark of their status. Yet, the necropolis itself raises more questions than answers. Why were so many buried together? Did they die in a single tragic event, or were these the routine casualties of Roman cruelty? Artifacts were scarce. Only a few vases and coins were found, the latter placed on a child's eyes, a token for the ferryman of the underworld, according to Roman belief. The lack of grave goods suggests these individuals lived and died in poverty, denied even the dignity of a proper burial. This site, dating from the 1st and 2nd centuries AD, offers a rare, visceral glimpse into the brutality of ancient life. It forces us to confront the realities of Roman slavery and the fates of those who lived in the empire's shadows. The shackled dead of saints are more than archaeological curiosities. They are silent witnesses to a world where freedom was a privilege and chains were a life sentence. Yet the mystery lingers. What were their names, their stories, their final moments? The iron shackles remain, but the answers may forever be lost to time. The Arago tooth, a glimpse into a half-million-year-old life. In 2015, a young volunteer named Valentin Locher was carefully brushing away dirt in the Arago cave, nestled in southwestern France. The cave was already famous for yielding the remains of Tottevel man, a Neanderthal who lived about 450,000 years ago. But Valentin's discovery would push the timeline even further back, a single, large human tooth, unlike any found before in the region. Dating tests revealed the tooth was approximately 560,000 years old, making it over 100,000 years older than Tottevel man himself. This tooth wasn't just a fossil. It was a rare window into a time in Europe when human ancestors were few and far between. What species did it belong to? Was it an early Homo heidelbergensis, a direct ancestor of Neanderthals? Scientists hoped that the tooth's wear patterns and DNA traces could reveal the diet, health, and even the identity of this ancient individual. The Arago tooth raised more questions than answers. How did this person survive in a harsh Ice Age environment? What tools did they use? And what stories did their life hold in a prehistoric world that left so few traces? This discovery challenged assumptions about early human migration and adaptation in Europe. Though just one tooth, it carried the weight of 500,000 years of history, reminding us that beneath the soil lie stories waiting to be uncovered, stories that reshape what we know about our distant ancestors and the landscapes they once called home. The aurochs slab, Europe's oldest known art revealed. In 2012, deep inside a limestone rock shelter called Aubry Blanchard in southwestern France, archaeologists made a breathtaking discovery. Hidden beneath layers of sediment lay a slab of limestone, its underside etched with an image that would rewrite the history of European art. The carving depicted an aurochs, a now extinct wild cattle species, and dozens of carefully placed dots surrounding it. This was no ordinary drawing. It was estimated to be around 38,000 years old, created by the Aurignacians, the first Homo sapiens to arrive in Europe. What made this find exceptional was the combination of animal representation with geometric decoration. While other Aurignacian artifacts featured either figures or abstract dots, this slab blended both in a way never seen before. The dots might have held symbolic meaning, perhaps related to counting, rituals, or storytelling. But why did these early humans choose to carve an aurochs, a powerful and dangerous animal, alongside mysterious patterns? Aubry Blanchard itself was likely a winter shelter for these pioneering humans, who braved the harsh Ice Age climate. This art suggests they possessed not only survival skills, but also complex cognitive abilities, including symbolic thought and communication. The slab offers a glimpse into the minds of people who lived tens of thousands of years ago, revealing their connection to nature and their environment. Yet, many mysteries remain. What was the purpose of the dots? Did this art serve as a map, a calendar, or a spiritual guide? And how did this early artistic expression influence the development of human culture across Europe? This ancient slab is more than a piece of stone. It's a silent storyteller from the dawn of human creativity, inviting us to unlock the secrets of our ancestors' world. The hidden fossil, unearthing a 12-million-year-old giant. In 2014, near Toulouse in southern France, a local farmer stumbled upon a remarkable fossil buried in his land, a massive skull unlike anything seen before. At first glance, it resembled an elephant's, but instead of the usual 2 tusks, this creature had 4, 2 curving from the upper jaw and 2 from the lower. Fearing the discovery might attract unwanted attention and damage his property, the farmer kept it secret for years. Eventually, he brought it to the Natural History Museum in Toulouse, where experts identified it as Gomphotherium pyrenaicum, a rare and ancient relative of modern elephants. This species had been known only from isolated tusks found 150 years earlier in the same region, but never before had a complete skull been uncovered. Dating back around 12 million years, the fossil gave scientists an unprecedented glimpse into the Miocene epoch, a time when Europe's landscapes and ecosystems were dramatically different. Gomphotherium roamed lush forests and wetlands, using its unique 4 tusks to forage and defend itself. The skull's discovery was priceless. It finally gave a face to a creature long known only through fragments. But many mysteries remain. How did Gomphotherium adapt to the changing climate and environments of ancient Europe? What caused its extinction? And what other secrets lie hidden beneath the soils of the Pyrenees? This fossil is more than a relic. It's a bridge to a lost world, reminding us that beneath our feet lie stories of giants who once shaped the earth. What other ancient lives await rediscovery in the lands we call home? The secret code of Plougastel, an enigma carved in stone. On a windswept beach in northwest France, near the village of Plougastel, a mysterious rock lay hidden beneath the tides for over 2 centuries. In recent years, someone walking along the shore noticed strange carvings etched into a boulder, symbols including a sailing ship, a heart, and a cryptic sequence of capital letters: RORB. Dre ar grio se evilo ar virions beoavel. Riabi, Brisveiler. Freuk. Al. The inscriptions, only visible during low tide, dated back to 1786 and 1787, but their meaning remained a baffling puzzle. Why would someone carve such an enigmatic message on a rock exposed to the harsh Atlantic tides? The timing coincided with the construction of artillery batteries to protect a nearby fort, suggesting a possible military connection. Could this be a coded message, a secret warning, or a sailor's cryptic diary? Despite efforts, no one has definitively deciphered the text. The village even offered a reward in 2019 to anyone who could unlock its secrets, yet the code remains unsolved. The letters don't match any known language or cipher, and some characters are eroded, adding to the mystery. Was it a playful prank, a forgotten historical record, or a message meant to be understood only by a select few? This carved rock is a silent witness to a time of conflict and secrecy along France's rugged coast. It invites us to imagine the lives of those who lived in fear of invasion, who guarded their shores with vigilance and perhaps hidden messages. What stories lie encrypted in those worn letters? And will anyone ever crack the code etched by hands long gone? The Body Pit, a Stone Age massacre frozen in time. In 2012, near the village of Bergheim on the French-German border, archaeologists uncovered a chilling scene that seemed ripped from a nightmare. Among 60 ancient pits, one stood out, a nearly 6,000-year-old silo packed with human remains in horrifying disarray. Amputated arms, severed fingers, and 7 bodies were crammed into the 2-meter-deep grave. The brutality was undeniable. Among the victims were children, including one between 12 and 16 years old whose arm had been hacked off, and an infant barely a year old. A middle-aged man lay at the bottom, his arms severed and his skull bearing multiple violent blows, likely the fatal strike. The pit told a story of savage conflict or punishment, where no one was spared, not even the youngest. Yet, centuries later, the pit was reused as a grave, this time for a woman whose body showed no signs of violence. Why was she buried in a place soaked with such horror? Archaeologists speculate that the massacre may have been a punishment for a transgression or the aftermath of warfare during the Stone Age. What caused this massacre? Was it tribal warfare, a ritual sacrifice, or something else entirely? And why did later generations choose to bury the dead in the same pit, perhaps as a way to confront or honor the past? This grim discovery forces us to confront the darker side of prehistoric life, where survival was brutal and violence left scars that echoed through millennia. The body pit remains a haunting enigma, a silent testament to human cruelty and resilience in equal measure. A fire-preserved neighborhood, Little Pompeii of Roman France. In 2017, beneath the quiet suburb of St. Colombe near Lyon, archaeologists uncovered a remarkable time capsule, a sprawling Roman neighborhood frozen in time by devastating fire. Covering 7,000 square meters, the site revealed houses, shops, mosaics, a massive market square, a temple, and even what might have been a school of philosophy. This Little Pompeii had been a thriving community for at least 300 years, only to be abruptly destroyed by two catastrophic fires. The first fire occurred in the 2nd century AD, but it was the second blaze in the 3rd century that sealed the fate of the settlement. The destruction was so severe that families fled, abandoning their homes and possessions. Paradoxically, the intense heat preserved the site's architecture and artifacts in extraordinary detail, offering a rare glimpse into daily life in Roman Gaul. What caused these fires? Were they accidental, or the result of conflict or rebellion? And what stories did the residents leave behind in their sudden departure? The discovery challenges previous assumptions about Roman urban life in the region and provides a vivid snapshot of a community caught in the flames of history. This fire-preserved neighborhood is more than ruins. It's a window into the resilience and fragility of ancient societies. What secrets will further excavation reveal about the people who lived, worked, and learned here before the fires turned their world to ash? A lost city, unearthing Ucetia, a Roman enigma. For centuries, the ancient Roman city of Ucetia was little more than a name on an inscription, a cryptic mention on a stela found in Nîmes, alongside 11 other settlements. Historians long speculated that modern-day Uzes, a charming town north of Nîmes, might be its resting place. But Ucetia remained a ghost, a lost piece of Roman Gaul, until 2016. That year, plans for a new boarding school in Uzes triggered a routine archaeological survey. What began as a cautious sweep quickly transformed into a full-scale excavation as archaeologists, racing against the clock before construction began, started unearthing colossal structures. They had found it, the lost city of Ucetia. By 2017, an astonishing 4,000 square meters had been uncovered, revealing a city far older and more complex than imagined. Its origins stretched back millennia, with the earliest buildings predating the Roman conquest of France by over 2,000 years. Ucetia wasn't merely a Roman outpost. It was a deeply rooted settlement with continuous activity stretching into the Middle Ages, around the 7th century. Yet, an intriguing gap appeared in its history. It was mysteriously abandoned between the 3rd and 4th centuries before being reoccupied. The most perplexing discovery, however, was its exquisite floor mosaics. Their style, previously believed to have emerged about 200 years later, in the 1st century AD, forced a re-evaluation of Roman artistic timelines. This unearthed city is a treasure trove of forgotten history, offering unprecedented insights into urban development, cultural shifts, and daily life across thousands of years in France. But the questions linger. Why was Ucetia temporarily deserted? What led to its re-establishment? And how did its artists master mosaic techniques far earlier than thought possible? Ucetia, once just a name, now stands as a powerful reminder that history is constantly being rewritten beneath our feet. These discoveries remind us that history is never truly buried. Each artifact, each grave, and each code invites us deeper into the mysteries of human existence, waiting for the next curious mind to unlock their secrets and rewrite the story of our shared past. What will future excavations reveal? The adventure has only just begun. Feel free to leave your comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more mysteries like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.